being zoomed, so it is being recorded.
Roll call.
Steve?
Here.
Sasha?
Yep.
Frank Ford?
Here.
Tom Reese?
Yep.
And Bob Green said he would be absent.
I'll make a motion on the July minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We're getting needs for executive session. Tomorrow. The request from the floor.
I just want to say thank you for signing the resolution because this is audit work. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Very encouraging and hopefully it'll lead to fair elections in New York. So thank you.
You're quite welcome. Anybody else got anything from the board?
For the planning board?
Well, we don't really have a planning board.
Okay.
This is what you got.
Okay, so bring up any issues we got.
Yeah.
All right, my name's Tim Hope. I have a place on 200 Lockwood. I applied for a construction building permit. I was planning on doubling my cottage, putting a new one up. But comes to find out that there's a DI and drain line that goes through my property, that I don't have any record of easements or anything on that. I've had my permit in for 2 weeks and I haven't got any feedback from anybody. I talked to Scott a little bit, but you know, it's been 2 weeks. I don't have any decisions on where we're going, how we're handling anything. So I'm here to hopefully get some answers.
I don't know if you're gonna get any tonight, but I have some questions.
Okay.
Do we know where the drain line runs?
Yes.
Um, Is there room on the property to move it to the lot line?
Possible, yes.
Any engineering to make that happen?
Have I?
Yep.
No, I haven't.
Okay. I think that.
My question is, I don't have any record of that being there through the easements
It's
or
not on the
anything, so
survey,
I
it's
don't
not
know
on
if
the
you,
survey.
so I don't know if you guys have an easement that you could show me that's on there as to.
If that was.
That's probably
from the
years ago.
Right, it's a I mean, I'm not here to start a battle, okay, I'm here to just reconcile and work this thing out somehow. But without any communication, it's very hard to do.
Well,
I
Tim,
have,
that's not entirely accurate because you and I have been on the phone a number of times. I have not failed to answer your call once. I've always updated you on where this stood. And the last time we spoke, I mentioned that I had conversation with Tim, the highway superintendent, if there was a problem, the DI and the line running under your house.
right, we've had communications, I guess I'm looking for, everything's been hypothetical, right?
Well, there's nothing hypothetical about the line running under the property, and there's nothing I'd like more than to issue you a building permit. I'm not looking to hold you up.
I'm not saying you are,
But there's an issue there that's gotta get rectified.
I understand. And the only way it's gonna be rectified is in communication. So I'm here to try and communicate, to try and understand. I believe there's a space around that we can do it. I had asked for the elevations of that pipe. I don't know what it is. If anybody has a record of it, and you can hand it to me, I would be willing to do a little more research. There's gotta be an invert somewhere, which I have no idea where that is, because the thing can't just come straight down from the road through the property. It's just not gonna work that way. So that's what I'm here to, you know, try and figure out. Or get on a schedule to discuss with whoever I have to
I would say,
discuss.
you know, are you generally available during the day or?
I'll be available anytime somebody wants to meet out there and go.
I would think that, you, Michelle, Tim, and Scott, get out there and see what we're working with.
Sure.
That's what we were hoping for all of last week. And we were told it would be brought up at the meeting tonight because.
Correct, your engineer contacted me via email, and I emailed them back that we're going to discuss it tonight, and I would email them tomorrow morning. So I mean, the communication is there, we're just gonna figure out what we gotta do with it.
Is there anybody any ideas yet?
There's no, I haven't found any records of that pipe being there, like I said, it's probably 100 years old, way before you guys even built there. Or whoever, your forefathers, whoever built that. So,
It's there before the cottage,
right,
it's a cottage that obviously moved,
right, so,
so somehow it didn't get there afterwards.
you know, right.
Like,
On that, I don't know how the state deals with that stuff, so I'm gonna have to find out through the state on how that happens.
And I would assume that you're probably gonna have to get a new DEC permit.
Right.
You know, since we're taking water into the lake.
But it's gotta be some kind of water engineer too, because if he's gonna go from where it is, it's gotta go this way and this way. You've gotta have something in there, because that drains all of Yakko, that drains, that side along Point Drive, comes into that DI box. Weird.
it picks up one outlet on your right?
Yeah, it's right over there. Yep, whatever.
Or it's right next door.
It's over, and then it drops down over the hill. So if you're up
Yeah,
on
it's
Yakko,
it's 2 lots over.
yeah, if you're up on Yakko, it bounces across the street.
Right.
It goes under that road there, drops into that box and then down. To
But
the-
it doesn't pick up anything from yacht club except that one you got.
Yes, it picks it up in those lawns, because that's where it runs to that lawn and then goes across.
Okay.
There's a
Um,
crossover pipe there.
But I guess you guys are telling me that I have to contact the DEC and I have to do that, but it's not my pipe. And the pipe doesn't kind of belong there,
You know,
so,
it doesn't.
well, I understand that, I agree,
And
something has to get done.
that's what, I'll have to figure out with the state how they do that.
But I mean, is this gonna
Which
be
is
6 months, a year, or is it? I mean, I had something scheduled for like the middle of this September, which I obviously gotta call off, but I mean, it was a winter project, obviously.
And it's something, I mean, our architect had reached out way back in February.
Yeah, he
to
had
find
talked to
out if there
Chris,
were any
Chris,
issues. We were getting the go ahead when he did the plan, he's like, nope, talk to the town.
well, we did our due diligence and we contacted Chris. And Chris and my architect had discussed things. And we made sure we were out of the right of ways and we're all clear with that. We missed the power lines, but we got a National Grid to sign off. We're okay with that. This is my last obstacle that was unforeseen until just recent.
So there are a couple items we talked, so that sign off from Grid, I do not have a copy of that.
Yep,
And
I'll
I
get
did
that.
talk, I did talk to Brett, and he didn't know whether they could put it in writing. So their technical Bolton 750 is basically what they're gonna have to sign off on, that your plan meets all their requirements. So at the end of the day, if you get a building permit, you put a house up, they can connect your power.
Sure.
So there's a couple of things there
No,
that,
I went the right way with all that. 'Cause
No, I get it.
talked to Brett early on and, you know, he said you go the right way or the wrong way. And I heard rumors the wrong way, so I didn't want
and then the current survey, you said you had it staked, that was out there.
it is.
Who surveyed? Was it a licensed professional surveyor?
Yeah, no news farmer. I got the copy you requested with me
Because
tonight.
the flags that they have there are not like typical surveyor flags.
No, the flags are right near the stakes. There's a stake in the ground and a flag near it, so you can see it. So I'm off the right of ways, I'm off of,
Yeah, so if you can give me a copy of that, that'll be
I have one.
cool.
When are you available? Down there where we can see what we got working.
I'm good. I'm retired.
Probably when we get to meet, I'll pay them tomorrow.
Wednesday.
That'd be the earliest I can get there.
Are you available
I'm
Wednesday?
there whenever you're ready.
What time?
I start at 6 in the morning.
So we're gonna get there Wednesday. What do we plan on? And I don't have a problem meeting, but we're gonna all meet over there to see what I've already seen and what Tim's already seen and what you know is there. I guess at the end of it all, if the town is good with moving it, somebody's gonna have to pay to move it. Somebody's have to pay to get it engineered,
Where's the only thing that, okay.
pay to move it.
Sure.
I don't have the legal expertise to know that who that person is.
Well, I
So-
guess that's where we have the problem. Like, there, when we took over the place, purchased the place, there's nothing in any of the paperwork saying there's an easement here, you're never gonna be able to, do anything here.
Able to expand summer, winter.
you know, and then early on, you were told that, well, no, you can't build over that, and there, we have easements for it. Well, then we checked with the lawyers, we got the closing paperwork, so there is no easements. You have an easement like 60 yards away from us.
So back in the day when you did this, who told you there was an easement?
Speaking with you, the original contact when my husband talked to you.
Well, it wasn't me, because I started in late
No,
March.
no, just.
No, we're talking just recently, somebody said that you guys had the right of way for the pipe and all that. I've been waiting to see that. I thought that's what I was gonna see next, in order to prove that it
Well,
can't be moved, so to speak.
Again, at the risk of repeating myself, I don't know if there's an easement on your deed or not, because I don't have.
There isn't.
I don't have a copy of the
I have my
deed.
search right here, and there's nothing.
So let's just stipulate that there is no easement.
Correct.
What we do know is that there's probably at least 16-inch conductor, 18 under your house. So that's what we're here to talk about. What are you gonna,
And if
now that we
it-
know that it's there, if you wanna build a house, it's gotta get moved, so who's gonna move it?
When you look through the survey and stuff, it talks about the right of way, which is 2 doors down. There's a fire line right away, 2 doors down for me. That's in my notes for that area. So I'm asking, is there any way that can go down that route? And that way it's never a problem again. Because that is a right of way and it's never gonna sell.
And honestly, the surveyor.
And there is a DI right near there in front of it down the road from my house. So that's the kind of stuff that I was gonna bring up to you guys to see if there were options for that.
Yeah, the state owns a little section.
Yeah, it's a fire lane and a Cattaraugus right away to the town or whatever.
Would it flow that way to them?
There's no,
Water doesn't flow.
no,
That's downhill.
that's a long ways.
Well,
That's downhill.
But there's another line that goes through past my yard. My yard's a 3-way. Right, so
Right.
something's running through or coming from 2 different ends and then dumping.
It comes
But-
from Otters towards you, down the hill,
Correct.
to the next DI, to yours, go
Correct.
down through. So.
So it
back in the
keeps
day, I
going
don't
past
know
me.
why it stops.
That's where it goes in.
Yeah, you're the
For some reason, I have another pipe coming out, say, north and south.
If you look in it, there's pipes going through this.
Right.
Yes, there is.
So I have 3.
On both sides of, so you've got a pipe coming down from John DeWald's old place, and there's a pipe coming from Otter's Way. And then there's a pipe that comes down the other one and comes across. So yeah, you get a lot of water.
Right, but we're saying there's also a DI right down from us. Why can't they
That
just
collects
be,
it from Yaco Drive. That's where that comes in.
so why can't that DI just be moved to that one?
That's a short,
Elevation.
elevation.
I mean, there's got a reason they pulled it that way, 'cause
Yeah.
that's the lowest point, so.
Just everyone we've talked to, nobody says they can't believe that that's under the house to begin with.
But back in the day, people did just things, just built.
You know how it got there, most likely, all these lots were bigger. And as the lake continued to get more popular, they kept cutting up more lots. So most likely,
People were dividing the lots.
yes, multiple times. That's how.
Well, it's like-
That's probably how, yeah. God knows, probably before, but long time.
There's probably built about-
But that's not bad, you know.
That's how this stuff is.
I understand, and my surveyor said it might have even got put in the wrong place. Like
When
it
the
should have been
right-of-way
on the
was
right away. you would
50
think,
yards
so
away.
that it never would have been an issue.
Anything's possible.
Correct.
Sure, the pipes were there before any cottage.
But, yeah.
Then the structure usually
Well,
goes in
what
the-
happened was, I mean, there was probably a piece of cottage and that, had 150 feet, they kept dividing it up,
Oh, absolutely. And then with no building permits or nobody to inspect it, they don't know about it. You just-
Because everything's cottages back then, so they didn't put foundations, and they put in.
That's not the only one on the lake like that either, there's another one over on Yankee like that.
Sure is.
Yeah,
So I'm saying we have records of that point. And do we know any elevations or? Is it on?
How many would have that stuff?
Because I mean, the other hard part is the roads in the wrong spot, right? So the surveys aren't even the surveys are accurate, but the fixtures, the roads, that is all not.
well, your survey will go probably to the middle of the road.
Right, everybody.
Everybody knows.
The right of ways are different, because where he staked, you still don't have the 25 feet, and some you have more. But those, because I'm telling you, the road is not actually where it's supposed to be. Or
The
where it's,
one that
where it's
surveyed it
supposed to
looks
be, it's
says
actually off, believe it or not.
It's not where it says it is on maps.
Nobody moved it.
If you take it,
Not the last 5 or
if I
6
take
days.
the center of the road by easement stakes, they're not 25 feet, some are more, some are less. But they're.
I see what you're saying.
So I'm saying that the road is actually.
But you don't know where the center line of the road is until that's surveyed and somebody puts a nail in. You can't just, I'll call it eyeball the center of the road.
That's what I'm getting
That's
at.
not necessarily where the center line.
Correct.
For the survey.
Right away is off.
So until a surveyor puts a nail in the road and then shoots a transit line over.
But anyway, regardless, let's get
We
back
just
to
had
this.
it before, so you just paid to have them all resurveyed and
Well, on Wednesday, when you guys all get together, we'll see where we go from there.
Trying to figure something out for you.
that bottom line is, we don't feel that's our responsibility to move.
I'll be there too.
We can talk about the next.
Because I don't wanna own it.
If we're done with it,
I don't know that it's the town's responsibility.
Right, so.
Let's start somewhere.
So I'll just,
Let's not,
there's gotta
Let's see
be
if we
something.
can find any records. You know, county,
let's start someplace.
DC,
See what we can do.
All I'm looking for is an offset in that line. To understand if it is under the road, is it on the side of the road? Is it, is it a major deal to get added because you gotta cut the road? Is it gonna be enough where we could get to the side of the road and not affect everything? That's gonna determine how much work. I'm a pipe fitter by trade. Okay, I've done this stuff day in and day out for 40 years. Okay, plumbing, all that stuff. So I have an understanding of it. I'm not just a, guy who's never found this before. So I'm willing to work, but on the other hand, I don't want to buy the block. I don't want to buy that pipe either. You know what I mean? It's been talked about building over it and stuff. I don't know what happens if it does go bad then.
Yeah.
Do we put a line down the right of way then and call it a day? I don't know. You might not be here to stick up for me at that point. I might not even. But that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Why don't you let these guys all get together, put everybody's heads together.
I mean, if you want me there, I can help you out too and be there. If not, then if you want to do it on your own.
we want you to
Be there.
Like, give me a time for when
have them, attend that.
Pardon?
I'll call our engineer and have him attend that.
Okay.
And,
See if we can put up a resolution.
he's the one that's gonna have to answer the questions. Can it be done or can't?
Well, and he'll also know, we've got to notify, we've got to talk to
Yeah.
them. And
Right.
we got to go to the agencies, so.
And keep in mind, we've also got a lot of housing involved in this. We've already got 20 grand into this, and we haven't even started. We've got contractors already lined up. We may be losing them. They're already lined up with dates.
You wanna.
So did we decide time?
See what happens.
What time?
One time, you're the guy.
Well, let him call the engineer and see what he says, what he's available for.
And
And then we'll get in touch.
Yep.
We'll get in touch.
Can I get your phone number?
It's 10 Hoch, HOCH. 716-560-4198.
Okay, I'll give you a call tomorrow. I've talked to the engineer.
All right, thank you.
You're available most anytime?
Tomorrow.
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What you, Scott?
So figure out, we'll make it happen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else before got anything? Okay, so, you, Kevin.
All right. So like I said before, we're gonna pave tomorrow on Laughlin Road. And then I wanna get started on shoulders, Riceville and Town Line. I'm scheduled the 28th and 29th to do Golf Road. From Berry Road as far as I can get with, Chicksmont. So that's where we're gonna go with that. It's 88 grand. Right now it's $71 a ton, so we'll see how far we can go, 20 feet wide, 3 inches thick. The new dump truck should be coming in the end of this month or beginning of next. It's in the paint line now, so everything's built on, this is paint.
Box,
The box, yeah.
good.
And then, the one ton is scheduled for May. So the 10 will be here. Then the 14 will go on the auction line for that. Let's see. So they're supposed to start on 219 Brandon from Peters Road to Beaver Meadow Road. I'm gonna try to get all my trucks on that and all up to Canada Hill with a section between Sunset and Cruise Road, just coming apart. And that's on the CHIPS program, so I can't use CHIPS money for it for another 10 years, so we're gonna resurface it with 219.
Okay.
And then we'll pave that little section next year. You know, to get by.
When are you doing that?
They're supposed to start that September, so whether the state is online or not, that's where we're at. So that's where we'll be in September, is hauling that to Canada to get that done. Yeah, we did it down on, Back Junction Road. Yep. When we raised that all up and then paved it, it hardened up nice, so that's what I wanna redo up there, so it should last a long time. Especially if you get it right down. So yeah, we've done that. Trucks in, or trucks could be coming. I think that's it, other than shoulders and stuff will get to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rolling,
Yeah, we're trying.
doing a great job.
You got the work in?
We've got a couple of updates. The summer recreation program ended on Wednesday. The kids had a lot of fun. There are some pictures up on Facebook page, so you can see the good time that they had. Staff this year was amazing, and really give kudos to Kristen and Amber for kind of building the program back after COVID. That was a few years where we didn't have.
It's nice to see all the kids on.
Yeah,
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, it's pretty great. Lifeguards are gonna keep the pool open through this Sunday. And then we just have too many that are doing fall sports and head out to college to run any times for the pool to be open. We had the color run on Saturday. Thank you, Steve, for being there, to participate. We had, lower participation this year than last year, but the kids that were there had a lot of fun. And again, those pictures are updated on Facebook as well. We have cash raffle tickets. Anybody wants to take some more? On sale, cash raffle scheduled for Friday, December 1st. You can see any of us for tickets.
Or me.
Tom's got some.
I have them in the office too.
Okay, Rebecca's got some, great. And then we did order another portable pickleball net. So we'll get that installed and we'll advertise the pickleball courts are available for use by the public. Starting on Monday. A week from today. Tim, can we get some sandbags or should I buy sandbags? I think we need 8 for the program that's done. Probably take it down like early October.
Excuse
Yes.
Do we have any issues with the pool once we close it down under that you guys know
Yeah, Kathy contacted somebody, about getting, we've got some eject that need to be replaced or repaired, and the one skimmer flat doesn't let.
of? So you talked to our new pool guy? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, it's been in touch. Oh, yeah, we did get written up for the ladder. He was gonna try to build something else so that it would, we had to put in the ladder and so hopefully
Okay.
we can fix that as well.
Okay.
So I have to, gotta get that sorted out in terms of getting that closed up.
Cool. Thanks. Great job. I know Chuck Beaver would be very happy.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Rebecca,
Yes, sir.
what do we have on the cemetery?
Cemetery. Issue, where I lost it. The cemetery prices have been the same for quite a while, and, it has come to the attention of other funeral homes and funeral directors and people in the town that, we aren't keeping up with the times, so to speak. So, the last couple custodians hadn't really done anything with that, so. I have prices from the cemetery in Arcade and the cemetery in Franklinville. And their newest increases, so, I have proposed to raise our prices to very similar to theirs. They're less in some cases, but very close. So for graves, their price all of them are priced at $1,000 in Franklinville. The old section I was proposing to go from 600 to 800, and the new section from 700 to 1,000 to keep in line with the other one.
Do you know how many we have left in like the old section, Rebecca?
You know,
Okay, okay.
I don't think there's tons.
Yeah, I didn't think there was. too
Yeah,
many.
no, I mean, people are starting, there's a few we find here and there when somebody wants to be close to somebody, I can look.
Okay,
But these cemetery records, going back, they're not exactly how the easiest to understand, I guess, would be the way. Burials currently are $6,000 or $600 during the week. They are proposed to go to 1,000. If you're up in the city area, just so people get an idea, in the city, Buffalo, Cheektowaga, all those areas, you're approaching $1,600, $1,700 for a burial. So this is still very reasonable for our area. If Jim Burmester wasn't doing it, it would cost us a lot to get somebody to come in and dig these graves.
Yeah.
So, and Jim deserves to be paid a fair rate also. Saturday fee, I didn't propose raising, it's $200 for Saturday either way. Cremation, was $325 for cremation burial, I'm proposing $600. And then, foundations are $50 right now, but, I put as per contractor, because people are putting some things need huge foundations, other things don't, so I think it should be more of a based on size and depth that we need. And the only other thing I suggested was the right of second interment. We don't have a charge for that now. What it means is that if you already have somebody buried on a grave and you want to bury someone on top of them, with like a cremation or a babies, I wouldn't, but a cremation or something, there's a fee for that because you're not using another grave, you're just piggyback, So I proposed $400 for that. But
I don't think we're aware. No, the comparables about, the comparables that you have are.
yeah, I think it's comparables where
Yeah.
I'm less or equal to
Yep.
the local cemeteries, and we're definitely less than anything as you get closer to town, to the city. So,
Brian, you have any figures, price increases?
I'm in favor.
I'm okay with it.
I mean, the cemetery, we're spending over $10,000 a year just. in
Just the upkeep.
cemetery, so. An amazing job. I haven't done much. Not yet, we're trying. Thanks. I plan on us taking effect in January, which means they won't be till we don't bury them in the winter usually, so March, April.
So if I'm gonna use mine, I wanna use it before January.
Yeah, please don't remember that, no.
That's the easy way out.
Yeah, I got two more, I bought them in somebody's kitchen,
A lot of it went.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the health department is out, they, told us that we must do some work on well fleet. And, and back and forth on, where you got the picture of it. Yeah. And back and forth, could fail any day. They do an emergency repair. NDA, starts the
Randy, come on. Here, Randy. That one's old.
Yeah, we're just talking about, you know.
Maybe this one in your hand. No, you have an updated one.
That's not my favorite.
No.
You'll hear one.
Got somebody.
Oh, don't go.
That's.
What is that?
Not the work.
Not the work. Very cool source. Local contact.
We have.
We don't have, no. They're just looking for positions to. Request the bids.
Okay, do it without a choice.
No,
No,
that health department is gonna make us do something.
yeah. Let's get it right. Okay, sure, gotta be done. Get it done.
Let's do it.
We need all that resolutions.
You do that in a resolution, sure, okay, okay. Okay, you got it, you have a resolution?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, house number 3. It was affected by. Company that originally set it there. They said it was beyond rehab.
That's the building up on top, right? That's the building up on top, right? Yeah.
Southernmost one.
Yeah. Pretty well.
Yeah. Eric is working on some grants,
Okay.
see what we can get to facilitate.
Anything that comes on wheels leaves on.
Don't rub out.
Usually a rock trailer.
Okay, so that's gonna be an expensive proposition
I know,
down the road.
yeah,
Um,
mortar and brick are. The walls from 1977, still strong,
Is that when that was put there, 77?
1977, it was laid up with cement blocks, concrete.
Yep.
Concrete roof, never had anything done with the roof, and brick around the outside, and it's still.
Oh, moisture there, it's crazy.
The other one was 2003 or 2004, and it's already had the second roof on it.
Personally, I would say, we do better to replicate
Well,
that one.
one.
You,
But again, it depends on what the dollars and cents are.
I know. But in the long run. Well, one doesn't owe you any money. Well, 3, yeah.
Got anything else to add to that? Randy?
Oh, sure, I wanted to just come and say thank you. We got meters now that we can be accountable for. How do you like reading them now? Exactly. And my recommendation is why this starts, maybe it's so easy as read every couple of weeks. Yeah, but then a couple weeks after that, just so we can get a flow and we get things, and there's gonna some decent people that don't like their water bills and they might have winter cutters and we can nip it in the bud. And after a big freeze, when it gets to be 35 below in Machias, maybe go out like when it hits 35 and find out if we have some big usages. And that's just a courtesy to the customer, because we had one guy in town where the upstairs came downstairs on his wife's beautiful cherry table. Because, and exactly, yeah, you know who it is, I'm not saying prominent person. Nothing wrong, but yeah, pipe froze upstairs in the heating and downstairs was the upstairs. So if you drive by with 1,000 and say, hey, you just used 2,000 gallons of water and you're not there, it's like, you got a problem. That's nothing, but thank you. This is
long
good.
overdue.
Thank you. That's why I came. Other than that, I'm just an aberration. And we got a lot of them on here that have used lots of water. And I think Becky and I talked today, there's like $87,000 worth of missing water. That'd be nice to have for a while.
Yeah, it's about time our water district pays for itself.
And right now we're pumping between 40 and 60,000 gallons less a day, just because people caught on a little bit. And after you send out the bills, they'll probably catch on a lot of it. Like, hey kids, turn the hose off outside.
Yep.
And the ones that said,
it's free, let it go, take the meter out. But that's pretty much over with.
Well,
Good.
yeah, the new meters, the meter's gonna tell us.
That's right.
And Somebody's
Somebody's
waiting for the
going.
meter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the meter will tell us if it communicates, we can communicate with the radio, but it will tell us if the radio is not communicating with the meter. It will tell us if people don't use water for more than, a few days. It'll tell us if people are suddenly using a lot of water, how many days they've been using that water for, so that we'll be able to alert people of leaks and stuff and really strange things. So it should, help the town save water, help the residents save money. And,
Help our meter reader not have to walk up to the eaves with 12-foot long bicycle spears above.
or
her
being
head.
threatened by
You won't have. I understand. I've been out there. I know. I've done it.
Good job, Ray. Thanks for working.
Dude, we made
Well,
it
thank you.
20%. Could be happy.
Yeah,
that
that
happened.
Thank you. It took a long time, but now it's done. Almost done. We got a few hits to do. The wire, you probably got pictures of that. The one at the pool. That wire was cut from day one or damaged in shipping. That hasn't been fixed, but we'll get a list together. Dan is willing to work with us and all them guys, so. The ones that don't read, and some of them are good prominent people, and it's like, it's warranty work.
Yeah.
And, yep, so that basically is it. Thank you for this, and, I made a couple phone calls to one of our fire patrons. It's like, well, I'm not crawling under my house for a leak. It isn't in your house. The leak's in your house and your garage, underground. And what we just figured, I used 2,000 gallons since.
4 days ago.
Yeah, or well, before that, you got it written
Yeah.
down.
You have a list already.
It's so easy to pick up. We got the little, well, you've probably seen the one that Chrissy reads with, little handheld. And you just type in the meter ID and that's the paper I wanted, so we have it. You just type that in and it'll tell you what it read. And the paper will tell us what it was read on the big one.
It was a long time coming getting that done, wasn't it? No, board, I thought we were gonna talk about that for the rest of our lives. Good job, Lee.
Thank you.
Takes all the credit.
No, but just as much for her as anybody else. Oh, God.
Everybody looking for water problems.
Yeah.
West.
Oh, yeah. Randy called me.
Ask the
He
clerk.
took, oh, he called me too. Oh, yeah, he goes, he goes, Sal, I'm gonna send it over to you. I go, set it over,
When
man.
bills go out, ask the water meter clerk, I'd like to know, your stance on all these, or so that when I get the nasty phone calls and nasty grams, I know what I can say. That the board is behind these, or that, sorry, sorry, you had free water for so many years because your meter wasn't working, but you could have called in readings.
Yeah.
I know Chris left notes for most people that, your reader isn't working, call in a reading, and. But what about the ones the 3 meters that we know of, that were removed and just not even there when the guy went to go change them? How do you want to proceed with those? I mean, the one's been stealing water. since
We have a reading on the
2014.
ones the meters removed, we don't
We
have.
can't, if they took the meters out.
Yeah.
The meter, I have the meter for the one, they have the picture of it. And the final reading is the same as the reading that was done in May of 2014. They got a big water bill in May of 2014, and after that, they removed their meter and left it sitting on the shelf. Yes, it is. I mean, it's in our law too, but, so they, oh yeah, I did it. So, yeah.
Not legal.
Yeah,
But
no,
then-
I thought you said something about that. And they had a pool and a hot tub that we know of. Currently, they have a leak and are using 900 plus gallons a day. So, I mean, they've been using a lot of water for a lot of years, so how do I bill that when we don't know? I have no idea what they used for the last 9 years.
Yeah, I don't either. They got something we have to ask our attorney.
I think Joel might have suggested, or it was suggested to double bill their usage for the next 9 years, because they've stolen for 9 years, so whatever they're using now, assume they used Or,
Huge job.
and to the difference of what they paid for, like if I billed them for 300 gallons a day, and if you're saying 500 gallons, they pay for an extra 200 gallons a day until they catch up.
I can tell you this, I had a water break in Attica.
Yeah.
Didn't know it, $10,000 water bill.
Mhm.
They gave me a choice. You can pay it now, pay it later, we'll shut it off, we'll file a lien against you.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
Ours goes on the taxes, so if they don't pay them, it's going on our taxes.
I've only been there 28 years. They said, we can't do it. They said they can't do it. For one person, one business, one no. Can't do it.
No. So I mean, these people.
So we got a couple options how we can handle that then. And that's a pretty good one, that we're doubling it and,
Doubling usage versus.
So,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what-
Yeah.
So we're gonna send out a bill to this person owns 4,600 bucks.
Yeah.
Good.
question,
It's been a long
how
time
much
coming.
water cost in the town?
We pay $3.50 per 1,000 gallons, plus a $51 fee to be hooked out to the system. $51 a quarter.
Is that good for, you know, what you want to talk?
We're $6.
So, I mean, I think it's.
Really, it's not a difference.
Around both sides.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, we've looked at all of that. And I said too, maybe we gotta come up a little, all the updating and getting the proper equipment and proper stuff. We've been on this, what, Randy, 3 years?
Yeah.
Right after the wall left, I started with Bronx Valley. So
We've been living this for a long time.
I've been having this for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
No, we've been working on it.
Yes, you guys, yes. That's why I said thank you.
And just so people realize, there were quite a few accounts that were overestimated because they've been estimated for years. It was a little old lady. They got credits for the water they use. So I did it all across. Everybody either got credits or, you know, most people were pretty close, but I didn't try to, I'm not trying to cheat anyone. I'm just trying to make it, you know, across the board. So.
Do you know the average of consumption per household?
I think it probably possibly did happen. I don't have it right now. I don't know. I mean, there's so many different size households. So.
How many kids you got?
How often do you shower? Not shower.
The reason I ask is, you could always consider, you know, like if you, if the average is like, let's say, 3,000 gallons a month, you have a fee for that 3,000, and you raise it after that. If you
Oh, yeah.
3,000, you know, you pay more.
Oh, absolutely. That's something to look forward or look into in the future when we gotta get these problems worked out and see how much water we're actually using now that we have meters that work.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Anything for Scott?
A few quick updates. As you can see, the building permits took in 12. Certificates of compliance 8, about 21 open permits. Just for some trivia, since April, taken in just south of 40 permits. So I'm sure we're a clear 100 bucks this year, which is up considerably. On the property maintenance side, I do have some things highlighted in yellow. Our 8703 Friends on Route 16, skipped court, so Judge Denise is gonna try to get him back in. We did have, the last one in yellow, we had our first appearance in court for property maintenance. Judge Francis gave him 30 days to make some headway. So we're, keep our eyes open on that. And all in all, we're doing well on compliance. People are actually trying to clean up. It's just a little process because a lot of these places have thrown garbage in.
I heard a lot of comments from the citizens that they appreciate what you're doing.
So we are making headway. Unfortunately, we do have a few people that just, you know, patently ignore it, but
Yep.
we'll keep after that. Last time we spoke, I mentioned that I was looking at code enforcement software. You do have a proposal. I attached it, working with the grant writer to get a grant for it. It's about $10,000 for the initial for the initial sign up, and, the annual fee after that is, I think about $1,700. Well worth it. And here's an example. Took a call from an attorney. They had a FOIL request into the county, went to the wrong place, but they're looking for some information on a property on Hazelmere. There's a lawsuit, personal injury lawsuit. They're foiling records for building permits, zoning, any of that type of stuff that's related to that property. Fortunately, after a lot of digging, I was able to find a file, but that's not always going to be the case. So one of the benefits when you read through that literature, you talk about getting current with the water and doing things in the 21st century. Having an electronic record of what we do, being able to tag photos, being able to download prints and have a running record of that is pretty important. So hopefully we'll be able to attach to that grant and go from there. Have my in-service training mid-September. Would request that invoice for that training is paid. It's $375. That's also attached.
It's with the bills. It's already put in the invoices. Sorry about it.
I think that's it for me.
Good guy. Rolling.
Yeah, thank you. Permits are up because you keep catching people. People who are used to fly by nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you again. Thank you. See you later.
Thanks.
You too. Oh, Bailey, Chris needs the reader for tomorrow. The handheld one. No, that's the old one.
Okay, I'll leave it on there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Sewer was down and inspected the pump house. They just did some minor repair work on the pump. Otherwise, they thought it was in reasonably good shape. They probably should, the contract come out every couple of years, go through it, make sure nothing serious is going downhill.
Right.
Cade has been doing readings, monitoring the exercise valves up there. YMA, they're no longer going to do that.
We have to pick that up then.
We got to pick that up, or he's going to do it.
Okay.
And you're got time to do that, or
No, what?
well,
Read the meters or what? We talking about?
no, monitoring the pump house. There's gauges down there.
I wouldn't know what to look for. I mean,
I guess that we're, maybe, gotta get that to me later, get one on with you and then, what you're saying.
I don't know what that would do.
Yeah. We'll get them written down and see if we can run that one.
How come that contract ended?
Because they were going to increase our fees substantially. So we renegotiated.
They really didn't want to handle that.
Yeah.
Well, no, they don't want it.
And they're gonna have more now with Yorkshire coming into the sewer
Yeah.
system too. So.
You can free up one of your guys to do that, you know, I think every couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll discuss. We'll see.
It's either that, Eric, Seward said he's got a guy that can do it.
What about our lawnmower and our, do we take care of that now?
I think Darren's gonna do that.
Yeah, that's, yeah, I guess, whatever you guys set up. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if that ceased with, what's going on now.
We better find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just something figured out, something you guys handled too, but.
Yeah, check into that.
Fair work, not good work. So we'll see what they say about that, what you gotta do.
You wanna talk to Darren and see how that was arranged?
I'll do that on my Wednesday. deal with this.
If now we get a price, you can, engineer that into the upcoming budget.
Right, yeah. For the,
If you got anything to, enter in for the upcoming budget?
And we'll have, what we've been talking about. I just don't have any figures for it yet.
Okay. Cause, I anticipate, working on that. The first part of next month,
Right. Yeah, those are usually it's September, somewhere now we're doing.
end of this month, first of next month.
Yep, I know somewhere here.
You get any wishes and wants?
The-
Besides software?
The software, other than that, I'm not very easy with taxpayers' money, so I'll make do. One thing I will mention, the exterior of the building here, at some point, if you want, I can go through and make you a list of deferred maintenance
That'd be
issues. Kind of already in my wheelhouse from past lives, so I don't mind doing that. But there is significant deferred maintenance on this building.
Yeah.
Things that needs to get
All right,
addressed.
we don't wanna get on the bad list.
Okay, you can get that for us next month?
Absolutely.
Okay. You got any wishes and wants? Okay. That's the case, but we'll move on to resolutions. Resolution to accept first bid for water district well house number 3. Whereas town of gas been signed for immediate repair well house number 3 is required to maintain public water quality. Whereas town of Machias engineering firm MBA development engineer from LLC has secured approval for work. Remedy the problem. Whereas MBA is paid a quote from Veritech LLC to manufacture and supply the required HDPE piping. Therefore, be it resolved, the town board approves the invoice proposal was attached. Attachment authorizes MBA to request bids to perform necessary work to complete this repair. Bids will be subject to the Machias town board approval. Resolution statement was adopted by majority vote, town of Machias board. Official meeting held on 21st day of August, in the 2023.
1 second.
Maybe,
Yes.
time.
Yep.
Same.
Yes.
And Fred.
Yes.
Here we have a resolution. Second. This is an application that's been duly made by the board of town of Machias, County of Federal Office, New York. By Spectrum Northeast LLC. And indirect subsidiary of Chart Communications. Limited liability, organized, existing good standing under the laws, state of Delaware, business. At 2604 Seneca Avenue, Niagara Falls. 14305. With the approval and renewal of agreement, starting cable television franchise. For 15 years, it's again date approval by the Public Service Commission. Franchise renewal is agreement, bring the franchise into conformity with certain provisions. Federal Communications Policy Act of 1984 as amended, and certain court rulings. The public hearing was held in town of Machias, August 21st, 2023 at 6:45. Notice of the hearing was published in RP Herald, August 10th, 2023. Now therefore, the board of the town of Machias finds that Spectrum Northeast LLC has substantially complied with the material terms and conditions of the existing franchise, the applicable law. And 2, Spectrum Northeast LLC has financial, legal, and technical ability to provide these services, facilities, and equipment to set forth in the proposal. Proposed bid and Spectrum Northeast LLC reasonably met related community needs, interest, taking into account cost and meeting such needs and interest. Be a further result. To the town of Machias, hereby grants cable television franchise to Spectrum Northeast LLC, town of Machias, 15 years, commencing with the date of approval. USC expiring 15 years hence. Get further resolved, town board, town of Machias, hereby confirms the acceptance of this franchise renewal agreement. For going. Has received a yes vote, thereby declared adopted.
Motion?
I'll make it.
Discussion. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Resolution in opposition, New York State Senate Bill S. 00139B, Assembly Bill A 1358B. This is in reference to proposed changes to our justice system. The state wants to take over the justice court. And they take it over, they're gonna want all the funds. That we get a substantial monetary flow from the bad guys in town that get caught.
They're taking over? They want.
It's proposed, it's already passed the Senate. And it's currently in the House. So if anybody's got any contacts, you want to write your senators, your congressmen.
over the weekend, I did take this, our resolution to our state senator, Pat Galvin. I dropped him off a hard copy and I sent him a digital copy. I'm just waiting to hear from Pat. See how he feels about this.
Apparently, according to Justice Lounsbury, they're planning on having regional courts. So there will be like 3 in the southern tier here, and everything will be heard at those courts. All the money will go to the states, and the courts will be manned by lawyers who have at least 3 years experience. So it also decreases the incentive for local law enforcement to issue tickets when they know the money's not coming to their local districts. I mean, the state goes to the state, that's not a problem. The troopers will do what they do, but sheriffs and local officers would be less inclined.
So do we lose our judges?
Yes, we have our entire court and all the money that it brings in.
What's the name of that bill again?
I can give you a copy of it. It's S00139B.
I'd like to copy that too.
Yep.
The more the merrier.
Yep.
Okay, whereas the New York State Senate Bill number S 00139B has been passed with adopted by the New York State Assembly in A 1358B, signed by the governor to require all judges presiding in 100 largest county courts licensed to practice law in the state and have been admitted to the New York State Bar for at least 5 years. Whereas town and village courts in Cataraqui County are among nearly 1,200 justice courts in the state of New York that collectively handle close to 1 million cases a year. Whereas town and village courts are known as the courts closest to the people. They have a broad jurisdiction presiding over civil and criminal matters, therefore performing a vital role in the New York State unified court system. Whereas town of Machias is vital service to our residents and the Cataraqui County community as a whole. Whereas justices in the Cataraqui County town and village courts are pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality and under equal justice to all, while continuing adhering to judicial rules of ethics and pronouncements in the New York State Commission of Judicial Conduct. Whereas justices are required to be on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to review, sign, arrest, and search warrants, form arraignments, issue orders of protection. Whereas justices in town, village courts ensure that the rights are afforded to defendants by the Constitution of the United States and the state of New York are provided and protected. Whereas justices in the town and village courts preside over trials involving misdemeanor and violation of lawful offenses, thereby ensuring victims of those offenses can be heard. Whereas town and village courts provide a venue for citizens to pursue low cost and efficient procedure for individuals to resolve civil disputes, to landlord tenant matters. Whereas justices also preside nightly on weekends, holidays, ensuring that arrested citizens are promptly afforded legal representation, the opportunity to plead to alleged charges, be considered for release, bail, or incarceration. Whereas justices continually strive to improve the administration of justice through participation in mandatory education programs, seminars, meetings of the Cataraqui County Magistrates Association, New York State Magistrates Association. Whereas New York State Office of Court Administration must certify all as having successfully completed mandatory training both following election and each subsequent year. Whereas New York State's Commission on Judicial Conduct most recent annual report 2023 identifies only 13% of the complaints filed against judiciary or against town and village judges, while the remaining complaints were against either state paid judges, constituting approximately 40% of the judiciary, who accounted for approximately 67% of the complaints received against non-judicial entities. Whereas justices also preside nightly on weekends and holidays, ensuring that the rest of the citizens are promptly afforded legal representation, the opportunity to plead to the alleged charges, be considered for release, bail, or incarceration. Whereas justices continually strive to improve the administration of justice through participation in mandatory education programs, seminars, meetings, the Cataraqui County Magistrates Association, New York State Magistrates Association. Whereas the New York State Office of Court Administration must certify all as having successfully completed mandatory training for following edge election and the subsequent year. Whereas New York State's Commission on Judicial Conduct most recent annual report. I think that's due. Attempts to serve the right of voters to elect those in their communities that they believe would be fair and impartial, who would best serve the community, whether they be attorneys or non-attorneys. Whereas the bill implicitly suggests members of the community are incapable of making informed decisions about who should sit in judgment on matters that are straightforward to the highly complex as may arise in their local courts. Whereas this legislative body views the intention of the bill is not to actually improve the courts, but to blank non-revolt attempt by New York State's Bar Association, an organization that represents approximately 15% of the state's attorneys, to generate increased opportunities for its members to dictate who the voters may choose to serve their local governments. Now therefore be resolved that the governing board, town of Machias, strongly, unequivocally in terms, calls on both the leadership of the Senate, the Assembly, and the governor to reject this poorly conceived, hastily fashioned seizure of the voters' rights to determine for themselves who they would like to choose to be their judges, as has been the case for almost 200 years. Resolution stated above is hereby adopted by majority vote of the town of Machias, held on the 21st day of August, year 2023. Is that the other you said? Yes.
Yes.
What?
Roy? Bob, Shay?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Resolution following the state and federal quality review process, local law, whereas town board, town of Machias considers local law to amend, so allowed to incorporate certain changes into the current. Whereas town board, lead agency for environmental review under certain action undertaken by local government. Now therefore be resolved, the town board, town of Machias declares itself as lead agency for secret review purposes, hereby determines that proposed action is non-listed action. Resolution was adopted by the majority vote of the town of Machias on the 21st day of August, 2023. I'll move it.
Second.
Steve?
Yes.
Tom?
Yep.
Bob?
Yep.
Yeah.
The claims for August. Whereas town clerk has received voucher all bills for the month of August, abstract number 8. Whereas town board has reviewed abstract number 8. Whereas the town board has audited vouchers included in abstract 8 and approved of payment. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board authorizes payment on all vouchers to abstract 8. General fund 145 through 169, $21,598. General youth numbers 33 through 39, amount of $8,255.54. Highway fund numbers 116 to 134, amount of $73,498.39. Street lighting number 7, amount of $1,437.57. Water fund numbers 47 through 53, amount of $3,596.57. Next sewer fund, verse 36 to 41, amount of $13,553.40. Resolution hereby adopted by the town board of Machias, second meeting held on the 23rd day of August, 2023.
Second. I got a question. Who's Everett Prescott?
That's EJP, that's the water meters.
4 meters? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem. Frank,
Yes.
Bob, Shay?
Yep. You're passing the request.
Yeah, got the financials.
Yeah, yeah.
Any questions?
No, no.
Okay,
In my pile, I'm sorry, I had this buried. I had a concerned citizen send me an email last week about the, condition of the Quonset hut used for rec, saying that, it has a musty and moldy smell, and she doesn't believe that it's healthy for anybody to be breathing, and her kids' clothes smell when they come home. So she would suggest that we remedy that situation before next summer. So. Just.
We agree.
Okay.
Nobody,
Okay.
we have nobody gets. But if somebody's got an idea, take it.
It's probably getting humid. It's humid.
No, it's musty.
It's sick. It's like the basement.
Right,
downstairs. It's
so it's
musty
not
and
getting there.
It's closed up, it's musty, it's gross.
Get some dehumidifiers or something like
There's
that.
one in there right now.
How big is it?
Runs off. And then I think that little ceiling thing runs at minimum in winter, so things don't freeze.
Okay.
Does it? No.
I don't think
We
there's
shut
gonna be
it down
a
when
water
they're.
shut off. Yeah, shut the water and drains it.
Yeah,
Is there heat in the summer? Yep, is that building heated? No.
No.
It's not heated.
There's no gas, just like.
you couldn't afford to heat that building.
Oh.
Not
Well,
inside.
it needs some- well, the summertime, not the winter.
There was. Where the meter came. Under the floor. It was in the pit. Yeah, the garage part of it, not the,
Well,
but
some to address for next year.
something to address.
I think we could vent one end and sustain on the other.
You could use some big fans, I mean, the big buildings you have to move the air.
Last summer we did, steam clean the carpets and did all the walls, because they've been closed up since COVID.
Right.
So we did all of that, and had fans in there to dry the floor, so that it was good as well.
You will get a big 55-gallon drum of that damp wood.
Yeah,
That is the operating.
that's about a week.
I'm sure Tim can order it in bulk.
Yep, I don't see anything about that.
Yeah, it'd be great. That could be improved. We
Yeah.
didn't have to use it, maybe, yeah,
Okay.
not even.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if it's staying, but, no, but.
Okay, we got them set on humidistats. So we start getting damp. The kids.
And the board, did you want to talk about your rental for the pavilion, or do you want to do that another night?
Whatever you want.
Whatever.
I did the updates, a few minutes ago, and sent them back to you.
Okay, I don't have them yet because I wasn't in there, so do we want to do that next month then, or next time you're here? There's no rush before next summer. Okay,
We like seeing this.
great,
We're
perfect.
trying to be here every month. We get an idea of what we've got going on.
Motion.
Motion.
Thank you.
Okay.
You write a resolution about the new animal laws that they're trying to propose. Yeah, I didn't do that. Number first, you gotta think about background check. Yeah.
Already done.
Okay, okay. I'm surprised Catarina County's gonna enforce it. Right?
Well, I just found out tonight that the local gun shop is closed, not the store.
Yeah.
Is there, people are just gonna go to Pennsylvania?
That's exactly right.
Is there any news on, the last I heard, you couldn't get a permit as of yet in Pitt County, is anything changed?
Correct. They're still working on the laws.
Okay, thank God.
You can't count?
Yep. They're 21, so over and check.
Oh.
Yeah.
Glad we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And now you can, it's every 3 years instead of 5 years. You have to rely with the state police. You have to tell them what guns you have.
Pistols?
Yes.
Legit.
Write something.
Mhm, during the week.
Are they gonna let us know that, or we gotta automatically?
Something.
Well, you don't want to find out. I mean, you talk to me.
Well, and everyone supporting
This summer.
Yeah.
I'm
not supporting. Well, maybe in the Senate,
How do you know when you're supposed to do
We
it?
can do a resolution.
Next time I did mine one up, so. I do have it. Which,
Yeah. The other problem with follow, I don't. It's not right.
I know.
I don't know.
I know.
Right, right.
There's also another thing that, many people are pushing down, driving state agency stories and to be prioritize the allocation of certain discretionary funds to those localities that promote the construction of housing. So she made emergency declaration to, so are you guys aware of that at all?
An executive order she made,
What did she say? I don't understand what. I don't understand it.
So she was doing an executive order directing, state agencies, authorities, and entities to prioritize the allocation of certain discretionary funds to the localities that promote the construction of housing. So there's an executive order,
the assembly, I believe, actually voted it down and the Senate, or one of the, it didn't pass, so she said, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Right. She doesn't like your bill, somebody should be stopping.
It's just more electric. She wants more, housing, low income housing. Because what they're dealing with at Erie County right now, New York City right now, they need a place to stay. So they're, like she said, they're talking about funds to
Build low income house.
build low income houses in each town, county.
We don't need them.
No.
That's
But board of supervisors in Wyoming County.
Yeah, right.
Voted it down.
Yep, absolutely. But that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
So
I didn't hear you the first time. I apologize.
so I'm just requesting, that you would refuse any money funding that's related to it, that's all, just to make you guys aware. Because, you know, these things are coming so quickly,
Yes.
that there's so much, and all of us.
That's the first thing I heard of the court system.
Yeah,
Every town around is signing what you just did.
Yeah.
Us now.
yeah, so thank you guys for this.
And if you wait, I do have, I printed copies, so I will give them to you.
It's on our website too.
Not the court yet. Right?
Okay, I have a question, regarding the justice, issue. When is that gonna be approved or disapproved? It's already passed the Senate, it's in the Assembly now. So you're sending this letter to? The resolution it's already gone to Pat Galvin, who's one of the state senators, although not our state senator. But he has a cottage here on the lake. So, I have a suggestion, I mean, maybe there could be a letter that we can put in the website, so that people from Machias can sign. or contact them.
Yeah, I can put something on there, but in with contacts for the local, our local representatives. I will do that.
So you have to,
Yep.
so we can encouraging the people from China to contact them.
I will do that.
Representatives.
Reach out to your representatives.
I will do that. I will put a link on Facebook and on the website, tomorrow.
All right, make a motion.
All in favor?
Yeah.
We are adjourned.
Thanks, good job. They got a voice on that? Huh?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. You know,